and gentlemen, and all other genders. This is the Nerdrotic Nooner coming to you live from San Francisco, California. And, I can't go too long today because I just finished a video that I'm going to put out right after this live stream, probably within 5 or 10 minutes, about some news that we got last night. I'll talk a little bit about it in the live stream. I don't want too much repeated information. I hope you are all doing well. Greetings. I'm doing well. I finally unpacked from my vacation and started to get caught up. Now, there will be a members live stream today too, just to let you all know, to make up for the missed one this last weekend. So, well, there's not a ton of news out there. We've got the Access Media scrambling. I saw the dumbest article yesterday. I tweeted about it. It was, what did it say? The only problem with the Gladiator 2 sequel is that, oh my God, what's his name? Maximus is dead. Yeah, I guess the main character being dead would be a problem. Another headline I saw was Chris Evans would have loved to have played Spider-Man if it wasn't for that mask. And everything else is top 10 this, top 10 that. So yeah, it's slow. So we have rumors out there started by We Got This Covered about a bisexual Captain Kirk. And, a lot of people emailed me, and I was going back and forth on making a video. I thought it'd be better to talk about on a live stream personally than make a video about it, because anytime you approach anything with the alphabet community, they automatically go to, you are an ist or a phobe if you're against a fictional character doing fictional things to another fictional character. Captain Kirk isn't real. Captain Kirk isn't real, but he is an established character. And while this rumor was started at We Got This Cover, so I'm 100% sure it's BS. I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility with Kurtzman and his lot. And considering everything we've seen, and if you watch Star Trek Picard Season 1, you wouldn't be surprised at all. And we just need some good TV coming out soon. Unfortunately, I think the Orville has been delayed. I don't think there's an official word on that, but considering they weren't finished shooting when everything got locked down, it's going to be a while. We did get kind of an announcement for the Umbrella Academy today. I hated the trailer, but I hope the show is better. And of course, there's, I'm not into the video game thing, but the Naughty Dog thing is going on. And then William Shatner put up the best tweet pretty much ever of all time, which we will get into as well. And we will also discuss the comic shop crisis, which is getting pretty ugly because shops, we lost 5 more shops, by the way, and that's the ones who have been public about it. It's going to be a lot more. Because remember, I was in SoCal last week and I went to 4 shops and only one of them was going to be open the next day. They weren't open on Tuesday, and 3 of them had not opened since the lockdown, and they haven't said anything publicly. So I won't say anything publicly until they do, but it doesn't look like they're going to open because they were in a region where they can be open. Now, I don't know what your situation is. If you're in one of the big cities, you're probably in the same situation I am. I got back from San Diego. It was pretty much completely open. You have to practice social distancing, but everybody's raring to go. I saw traffic in LA yesterday. I went out to try to go to my PO box and get a cup of coffee, and everything is still completely shut down here. Even though some stuff can be open. A bookstore was doing curbside pickup. That was it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to go for a little run after this live stream as well. And yeah, there's just not a ton to talk about, except for the Filoning. Now, I can't remember. Okay, let me preface this by saying Friday Night Tights last night was quite a show. There was an argument that went for the first hour and then trickled out throughout the show. And I've never had a podcast like spill out into Twitter before. I did not realize this was going on because I don't spend much time on Twitter. So Jeremy and Az went at it over Dave Filoni's comments, which we will go over. And, while I somewhat understood Jeremy's point of view, and Jeremy's a friend of mine and we're still friends, I completely disagree with him on a bunch of stuff. And I agreed with Az on more. I got involved in the argument because I'm a fallible human. Sorry. And I know some people hated it and some people loved it. We won't make a habit out of it. Don't worry. And it's been squashed. But I was surprised to see that it was still going on Twitter like a couple days later. Even Mrs. Nerdrotic's going, God, this thing is still going on. I'm like, really? Wow. But, I think it brought up a good conversation. I thought there were some really good questions and really good points brought up about what makes the Phantom Menace special. And the fact that it's not organized, that it's not an echo chamber. And there are large groups of people who still want to enjoy Star Wars in the future. I mean, my point of view is I'm checked out. I mean, gone. There's no way I'm coming back. I mean, it's possible. Nothing's impossible. But I guess I'm a Star Wars normie. I liked Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and the characters I grew up with and liked for decades. And there hasn't been too many new characters that I've been attached to. I like Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I like Qui-Gon Jinn. The prequels could have been so much better. And listen, I don't like the prequels. I don't think they're good films. They're better than Disney Star Wars, and you can disagree with me on that. And I see them from a new light. I still think they're Star Wars, though. I still would count them as Star Wars, just not very good Star Wars. But Jeremy did a live stream yesterday, and that's what my video is going to be about. So again, I'm not going to go over it too much because I don't want to repeat too much. But there's a live stream he did with Cameron Pasha that after this one, I highly recommend you go see. I think the link is still up on his Twitter, and I think he'll put it up on Geeks and Gamers Live. And yeah, it was good. It was enlightening because it told us stuff we already knew, but with a sprinkling of new information. George Lucas, of course, hates the new Star Wars. There's no doubt in my mind George Lucas hates the new Star Wars. And of course he can't come out and say it, but he's practically done that. Like, look at his facial expressions. And by the way, his facial expressions can bring down stock prices when it comes to Star Wars. And you just compare it to what's worked. The MCU has worked. Star Wars is not on an upward trajectory. And there isn't much left for this franchise. There just isn't. And it requires normies to survive. And the normies are bored of it. And, oh, by the way, this was news. Star Wars Celebration has been canceled. Not a surprise. But did you see what year it was scheduled to? It wasn't next year. And I mentioned this on Twitter a little bit. I'm guessing the powers that be at Disney have a lot more inside information to the governing of the state of California than I do, or Father Christopher Miller, or Chris Persia. And I think that is a bad sign. That's a harbinger. It's rescheduled to 2022. So that was kind of a gut punch, man. And it's not that I'm not even going to go and set foot inside the convention. It's, oh shit. You gotta be kidding me. So I could see that as a real possibility, and that's why I went on vacation. I am planning major life changes that we were not planning 3 months ago. And, I'm not going to bore you guys with it. I'm not, I don't want to, we're here to have fun, but it's been really tough on Mrs. Nerdrotic. Now she's doing what she can. She's keeping busy. And she's not the kind of person who sits around and waits for the government to come and save her or me to come and save her. She's fine, but it's rough. It's rough. Welcome everyone. See, who do we have here? We have Eric K. What's up, Eric K. and his wrench? Keaton Smith, Mark Santos, Alvarin Imakara. Did I say that right? Alvarin Imakara. Welcome. Edward Wood, the Unholy One. All right. OBDM Videos. What's up, guys? How's it going? Thundercats. Ho! Good to see you. Bernard Mendez. Dawn of Mutation. Carius. Jiz One Aber. Is it Jizaber? Sam Guyven. And Butter Biscuit 92, the talons of Wayne Chang. Hail, hail. And we'll talk about a little bit of Doctor Who, too. Hey, the police box. It's still a police box, as far as I know. I haven't checked all the news today. And greetings, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for showing up again to the Nerdrotic Nooner. I'm just going to make it a policy. I'm not going to do a Monday after I do an Inquisition. I'm too friggin' tired, and I really need to make videos because I 10 days. I went 10 days without making a video. That's YouTube doesn't like that. And thanks everyone who watched my video. So we're approaching a milestone here on this channel. So I really want to start out by expressing my gratitude for all of you because this has been a crazy ride. I enjoy the hell out of it even now. This is the best job I've ever had. I don't know if it will last past tomorrow, and I don't care because I'm grateful for this ride we've been on for the last 2 years, and in particular in the last 2 months where I know it's been hard for everyone. And I am approaching, this channel is approaching 250,000 subscribers. We're about 800 subscribers away as of this morning. And, things have been slow over the last week because I took that vacation. But damn, 250,000 subs. That is unfracking believable. I can't tell you how happy I was when I hit 1,000. I ran down to YouTube and I recorded a little video in front of the YouTube because I'm about 6 miles away from YouTube. And I recorded a little video and, I was getting 15 to 20 people in the live streams. They were great. They were tons of fun. And I never, when I hit 10,000, I'm like, I'm good. And then I hit 20,000 and seriously, I'm good. I would love to hit 250,000. I'm not going to hit 1 million. That's okay. This is, it's fantastic. So thank you guys so much. It's been fun and I can't wait to give back to you guys a little bit as much as I can. So if nothing gets canceled, Star Trek Las Vegas is on for December 9th through 13th. I know some other YouTubers are going to be doing some other things, and I don't mean to conflict with that, but I want to do something to give back to all of us here, all of us fans here, us fellow fans. So I'm going to find a place to rent out. And it's going to be kind of a base of operations, a place where we can meet up and do staged live streams with a live studio audience. And there's no crowdfunding involved in this. There will be no cover charge or anything. All you have to do is get there. I know not everyone can get to Las Vegas and just jump up and travel, especially after the last 3 months. But if you can and book early, the deals are pretty fracking amazing right now. So I'll have this all worked out pretty soon. And I'll let you know. Pay attention to Twitter, my website, nerdrotic.com, and Instagram. And I'll be talking about it here in the live stream. So we'll do a meetup. Of course, I'm going to try to invite some other YouTubers out there if they can get out. I might try to help them get out if I can, a couple, if need be. But the thing is, I don't want you guys. I mean, I'm going to try to get you food as well. We'll get like a taco truck or something. Now, I don't know about booze. I'm going to have to think about booze. Booze gets pretty expensive, but I can cover your food at the meetup. Of course, we can go into the Star Trek convention. I wouldn't recommend getting one of the expensive packages. It's a big, giant grift. They just want you to pay hundreds of dollars for autographs. And if you want to do that, that's cool. I did it for Shatner, but I would never do that again. There's a 1-day pass you can get when you roll up. That's the cheapest, and you can check out all the panels, and we can hang out. And there's some pretty decent shopping in there, but you can get it all done in a day. And go enjoy Vegas. Go and enjoy Vegas. And yeah, we had a great time last year. I met Mecca, Tom, and Rob in person, and it was It was a blast. It was a blast. And guess what? Not a single person, we got a couple dirty looks, but nobody came up to us and called us haters or anything. We had people with Discovery cosplay on come up and shake our hands. And all I met was a bunch of nice people. Actually talked to a couple of actors. They were extras in the show who said they had watched my videos, which was a trip. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So if you can make it, let's do it. And we were going to do something like this for Star Wars Celebration, but of course it got canceled. Now there is going to be I'm pretty sure it's still on. It's up to EVS is planning a Phantom Menace kind of Comicsgate convention in Florida in 2021. There's that too. So just wanted to mention it. Clint Howard, Larry. I got to meet Clint Howard in a hotel room. I don't want to say too much. I'm sure you've heard Tom tell the story. That was one of the most surreal experiences I have ever had sober. And he was perfectly cool, like absolutely cool and candid as hell. So, yeah. It's Bird of Prey 5. Kapla, Bird of Prey 5. And hello, Sheila Allen or Sheila Alien. Greetings. So, well, let's start with the bad news, okay? Sorry about this, but we do need to discuss 5. I just want to try to acknowledge every one of these comic shops that is closed down because while I can't identify with the circumstances, I feel it in my gut every time I see it because I know how I felt when I forced myself to sell my shop because of my demons. I relapsed and I was snorting up my shop on a daily basis. So I had to sell it. Brian Hibson came and bought it. It's still there to this very day. I don't know how much longer it's going to be around. I don't know how much longer Brian can support 2 shops. Here in San Francisco, of course, we've been locked down. PPP has run out, which is the government funding to help pay employees. There's still unemployment out there. There's still people worried about coming into work and getting sick. And by the way, minimum wage goes up on July 1st. It's creeping up to like $20. I think it's going to be over $16. Now, I always paid my employees above minimum wage, but the thing is, it still affects your payroll. It does. All right. And and I want you to notice where 2 of these shops are. Think about the Chaz. More comic book stores close permanently. Today, bleeding, cool, shill ass Rich Johnston site looked at one potential solution to save the comic book shop that is being rolled out. I don't know what that is, but for laughs, we'll take a look at it in a little bit. Not all comic shops will make it that far. The beer bug is already causing some shops to shutter, not just for the duration, but for good. Bleeding Cool, the shill-ass site by Rich Johnston, previously reported that's what Lee's Comics is doing, and that was months ago. That's right when this started. And by the way, right before Diamond shut down and said they couldn't pay anybody and then needed to get an extended line of credit to stay in business. But a few new comic stores have made a similar decision. More stores opened in 2019 than closed. Okay, where's your link to that, Rich? Where is the info? I have yet to see one shred of evidence that that is true. That was a statement made at Comics Pro, and it could be one comic store opened last year. That's all that can mean, is one comic store opened last year. Show me some numbers, little Richie. But it is unlikely anyone will be able to say the same in 2020, and we will see more comic book stores close. By the way, from 2017 to last year, over 100 comic stores closed. 100. Including one here in the Bay Area, 2 cats. All right, so Show Enough Comics in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Oh no! I just saw the second one. God damn it. We'll get to that. I thought they were going to make it. You know what? I'm going to need to talk to them. If anybody knows that, anybody at Blue Moon Comics, tell them Gary from Nerdrotic wants to talk to them before they make any crazy decisions. They posted the following on Facebook last week. This is something we never thought we would have been writing after March 31st. Oh, this is my old one. Damn it. Sorry. Hang on. This is the previous 5. I'm an idiot. So Blue Moon Comics is still open. I was looking for the other 5 comic stores that closed. I'm a moron. Hang on. Let me go find the right article. Boop, 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 boop. This is the one from 3 days ago. I thought something looked different about it. Okay, so Show Enough is gone. Blue Moon Comics is still alive. They can open right now in where are they? Again, San Rafael. They're the comic shop I used to go to when I worked at Tesla. I worked about a mile away from them. All right, so we are corrected here. Duh. 5 comic book stores announce permanent closure. After the industry shut down, it was anticipated that many comic book stores would shutter completely and, God, stupid fucking ads, and be able to open up once again. But a mixture of comic book ingenuity, government assistance, and consumer spending and the charitable work of the BINC has stopped that from happening. Or has it? I think it was just a Band-Aid. I think what helped comic shops the most was the store owner ingenuity, was the entrepreneurship and the government assistance. Let's not count that. But I don't think the charity from the book organization where they got pennies on the dollars helped with jack shit. Has stopped that from happening, but it would never be able to stop all comic stores closing. Bleeding Cool covered some earlier closures, about 5 more, and 5 more have closed. Now, I think Bleeding Cool has covered 12 altogether previous to this. And again, keep in mind where these comic shops are located. Comics Dungeon of Seattle, Washington, and Corner Comics of Kirkland, Washington announced the news that they were closing on Facebook. After 28 plus years, the time for Comics Dungeon, and 39 plus years for the Corner Comics, 39 years and 28 years. It is time for both to close. We are also grateful to each person we have met over the years. The 15 years that Laney and I have owned the stores have been amazing. The foundations that Marv and Steve put in at Dungeon and Ron and Paige at Corner truly shaped business that are reflections of the communities they were built in. Were. We are proud of the changes both sides have made over the years, becoming businesses that welcomed diversity, inclusion, and that created an atmosphere for families and kids. We are proud to cover the last 3 years we have been able to help local schools create willing readers at all levels and embrace comics as a medium for education. None of this would have been possible without your support. Before I go any further, are there any comic shops that were against diversity and inclusivity? Maybe there were. I don't know. But I mean, diversity and inclusion, that you're trying to run with this narrative that it's never been like that before. Like the comic industry has been pasty white forever. I don't know. I've been going to Comic-Con for 30 plus years, and I've always seen diversity there. Maybe I misremembered, though. Maybe I'm just crazy. I've always found the comic creatives are a catty bunch, but the industry as a whole, pretty open to everyone, and always has been. However, changes in the business climate in our area, would that include some of your city being occupied? I don't know. Major shifts in the comic industry, plus the devastating impact of the beer bug, put too much stress and costs on the stores. We have been working hard to put this off, and we appreciate all the support we have received over the past few months. We will never forget the support we received from the GoFundMe that so many of you participated in, and it has made the landing for our staff that much softer. And there's Corner Comics. We apologize for the sudden nature of this, but please bear with us as these events have been hitting hard and fast. As our last day will be July 18th. We have already closed the storefront at Corner Comics and are serving the east side from the dungeon. We will arrange pickup at Corner for the next few weeks. The schedule will be forthcoming. Our last shipment of new product will be July 8th, except for DC Comics, which will be June 23rd. If you want something, please pre-order it at least 2 weeks in advance. We will continue to fill subscriptions for all publishers through our last week. We will not be taking any special orders after June 15th. If you have gift certificates, store credit, or Groupon, please come in and use them before our last day. But where will you get your comics after the Dungeons and Corners is gone? Well, the comics place in Bellingham will take over all of our pre-Beerbug mail order customers. Django and Jeff have a smooth running mail order system, including a great online store, as well as cool brick and mortar location. We know they will keep the quality and communication levels that have grown to, that you've come to know with the Dungeon and Corner. Outsider and Comics and Geek Boutique in Fremont is one of the most progressive comic book stores in Seattle, focused on community and building a welcoming and safe comic retail space. Yeah, when I opened a comic store, I wanted it to be dangerous. I put spikes on the walls and booby traps so I could capture people. And we fought. We had a fight club in the middle of a business day, and every time we saw a kid or a girl, we screamed at them and ran them out the store. So ridiculous. This is bad news. Maximum Comics in Las Vegas. No one ever likes to have to announce this type of thing. Sadly, after 10 glorious years, I've been to this shop, by the way. At our Henderson location, our last day open to the public at the shop is July 15th. We opened in 2010. And listen to this. We opened in 2010. The rent for the space was $4,200 a month. That actually seems reasonable for Henderson. It is now $8,200 a month. And the property owners are not willing to consider rent reduction. They might want to consider it now. Call me crazy. In light of current global health pandemic we find ourselves in, along with comic book industry uncertainty and the economic uncertainty of our country, it would be highly irresponsible for me to sign on for another 5-year lease at this space or anywhere really. So that one's gone. The comic book store in Little Rock. One of the reasons that I've enjoyed such a successful run with my pair of comic book stores over the last 38 years has been the recognition of the market trends and always shifting with them. I've often referred to retailing as a job that requires constantly wearing a pair of roller skates to roll with the changes. Absolutely. After June 27th, I'll be adapting to change once again when Collector's Edition in North Little Rock and the comic book store in Little Rock transition from retail storefronts to mail orders and online sales. So he's staying open. He's going online. Yeah. Damn it. That's too bad. And there's going to be more. There's going to be more. So we're going to see this play out over the next couple of months. I talked about this in all of my videos. We will find out. The real trouble is going to start out now because as the customers do come back, they're not going to have much to buy. They're not getting much product. DC tried their very best to keep people employed and keep making product. Marvel has been just quiet throughout this whole thing. And what they offered was variant covers. That was their big FU to DC was to offer variant covers. And then there's this. I gotta find this article. Unless it's gone now. I could have sworn I saw this earlier and it was right to the top and now I can't find it. Immortal She-Hulk is spinning out of Empire. Well, they had oh, I know where I saw this. I saw this on Facebook. Okay, I didn't see it on Bleeding Cool. So Philip Boyle, who was on that live stream with Dan Shaheen, stated publicly, I don't want to show this. I'll read it. I will read it. Because it's a Facebook post. It's on Brian Hibbs. If you guys want to go look at it, you can, but I'm not going to show it. I can just read it. I just don't want to hear any complaining from Hibbs. I really don't. Okay, so this is Brian Hibbs got permission to repeat this statement from Philip Boyle. Phil Boyle posted this, and with permission, I'm posting it too. Yesterday, I did a really stupid thing. I sent all my data for my number 2 comic book supplier to a predatory competitor, meaning Philip Boyle sent his information to Midtown Comics because they are part of the new distribution network for DC. I did so as there was a gun to my head, threatening the lifeblood of my business. We are a dramatic lot, we comic book owners. I may be forced to doing things that are detrimental to my business, but I will never forget who held the gun. Oh, no, they won't. No, they won't. Yeah, so that's the temperament going on right now. All right. Where was I? Brian Lewandowski for $5. You and Drinker should discuss Search for Spock next. Any plans to celebrate the eventual 250,000 subs? Yes. It's a bit of a surprise. But yes, there is plans when that does eventually happen. If it does, I mean, you never know. Scottish Nerd, thank you for the phallic unicorn. Brian Lewandowski, thank you for the $5. Yes, I did a live stream with the Critical Drinker. We talked about Wrath of Khan. It was lots of fun, and sure, absolutely, we if he's up for it, I'm up for it. I think he mentioned it. Yes, I think we can do that. Paisley Gemini, hey Gary, can you give a shout out to my friend's comic shop in Austin, Texas? Austin Books. There you go, Austin Books in Austin, Texas. Go check it out. If you want, pop an address and I'll throw it up in a second. But sure, go check it out. If they're open, if you got a comic shop that's open, you got a couple bucks. Like cripe, I need supplies, and I don't know where to go. I'm probably gonna have to drive down to San Mateo or something. Or no, I can't. God, there's no comic shops close. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just order them online. I don't have any boards for bagging and boarding this Tuesday. Hail Gary, the super chat catch up was good, especially having experienced the FNC. Yes, the FN. Oh, the Friday Night Tights. The opening there. Our new opening by the great Perry Chan is brilliant. Is absolutely brilliant, and he did another clip for the Filoning, which will be in my next video. I hope he's okay with that. I'll give him a big shout out. He'll get a big shout out. George Peter Gatis. Thank you, JPRPH1, for the $4.99. George Peter Gatis for 5 Canadian pesos. Hail, Gary. Danelle's Comics on YouTube has 3 new conversations with Alan Dean Foster. Oh, brilliant. Please check out Danelle's Comics on YouTube. Peace and love. I will. I love Alan Dean Foster. Is it safe to assume that future movies and TV shows will never be more woke, will be even more woke than before? Nikki D for $5. Yes. It's going to get ramped up to 11 to 1,000. The events over the last week will embolden a lot of Hollywood, and they will get the same result as they got last year. Do you think people want to be reminded of this time? Do you think people want to be reminded of the last couple of weeks? I mean, I don't watch mainstream news, so it seems like at least here in this city, things are settling down. So, but who knows? I mean, I'm not hearing as many sirens constantly as I have been. Route 69 for $2 Australian. RoboCop 2 is more relevant today than ever. Absolutely. And I love RoboCop 2. Written by Frank Miller. Randomized for $4.99. I was thinking today, is Superman's Krypton a warning to Earth? As it was just a bunch of idiots who didn't heed a warning and destroyed themselves. I mean, that's mankind. Listen, how many heretics ended up being right? I mean, there was a whole Spanish Inquisition. I mean, how many? Just look at it. Let's bring the scale down and let's talk about the fandom menace. What's the fandom menace? People seeing through the BS of Hollywood. People seeing through the virtue signaling and knowing what it's really all about and knowing what the consequences would be. We'd lose our entertainment. It would absolutely destroy storytelling, and it plays a part in divisiveness, in the overall divisiveness in the country, which was boiling up, and it was dying down a little bit, but then the beer bug happened. And what did the mainstream media in Hollywood do? They ramped it up some more. And they ramped it up through Star Wars, through Doctor Who, through Star Trek, through our video games, through our comic books. It was relentless. It was nonstop when we just wanted some fucking relief from this shit. So this is what they have contributed. And you know how freaking, God, you know how much that angers me that Doctor Who played its part. It might be microscopic, but they played their part. One of my favorite franchises, which was one of the most inspiring things, a thing I could sit down with both my boys, that had a protagonist that thought his way out of problems, saw both sides of the story, was above the petty squabblings of humans, and then, was imperfect himself. And sometimes when he, fell in love or something, he would feel the impact of it. Completely gone. So yeah, this is what we were fighting. We just wanted entertainment to be for everyone. And now we have an entire half of the country demonized. And it's happening this very second. What else is canceled on Twitter today? I saw Domino's Pizza. Really? Domino's Pizza. I don't know what it's about. I don't care. I've just, after I saw a starry-eyed girl was used to be a wrench around here. I don't see her around much more. I don't know if she's on YouTube. I did a live stream with her last week, and it was good to see her. So I don't know if she wants to get involved in any of this stuff anymore. I don't know what happened on Twitter. I know there was a guy going after her. The guy blocked me, so I didn't see any of it. And I'm not that much on Twitter, but I saw what happened. She bailed on Twitter. I'm glad she did. And then I saw what happened to Robert Meyer Burnett. And I was kind of done at that point. I'm like, I'll still post once in a while, but I'm done. Robert Meyer Burnett is one of the nicest guys. Yeah, he went off a little bit on Twitter. So what? I personally didn't have a problem with what he said, and I don't think he should have apologized. Basically, he said, I won't say exactly what he said, and it was pretty salty, but he said, defend yourself. I know I ask every week, chances of Exozone, says Bird of Prey 5 for $2. Very good this week. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on. They discovered a green glow around Mars, which is similar to the green glow, which is around the Earth, and it's gases and oxygen. It's nothing alien or anything, but it shows more that there used to be an atmosphere there, and there's still a little bit of one. That was pretty cool. Red Ilium and Olympus by Dave Simmons. Awesome sci-fi. I will check it out, Trent M. I have not heard of that. Thank you for the $1.99. I love new suggestions. Of your enthusiasm, I watched off your enthusiasm, I watched all 3 of the Hobbit movies in one day. I love them. I am now getting started on Lord of the Rings trilogy. You got me, Gary. You got me. I'm teary-eyed. I didn't watch sooner. Thank you. Butter Biscuit 92. It's a timeless classic. And that's what we've lost. And thank you for the $10. That's what we're mourning, the loss of our escapism. And it is important. You know, we're seeing right now how important it is. We need a lot more people sitting down with their friends or their kids, watching good television, hanging out, enjoying each other's company, instead of squabbling on Twitter, squabbling on the streets, over this thing started with a real issue. That's the sad thing. There was a real issue that we were all willing to listen and have a conversation about. Then it got co-opted and co-opted and co-opted. And the same thing has happened to our entertainment. Once something gets big, notice they don't glom onto The Expanse just yet or something else that's up and coming. No, they go for the big stuff so they can influence. And I said it on a previous live stream. The entertainment industry has rebranded over the last 6 years. They now think they are the influence industry, and they really suck at it. They suck at it because to have influence, you need to have some sort of, and listen, I hate the whole thing influencer, by the way, but if I'm going to be influenced by somebody I'm watching, it's got to be somebody I can relate to, that has common sense, that I feel like is pretty real, that would think about issues and not just demonize somebody or be part of that cancel culture. And listen, Hollywood and the BBC sign off on that shit every day, and they're the worst victims of it. That's what's crazy. They don't back each other up. Nobody, like Jeremy and I and Midnight's Edge had to back up Robert Meyer Burnett and John Campea did too. Okay, his friend John Campea had his back in John Campea's way, but he did. While all of his friends just ran to the four winds, disappeared, dropped him like a bad habit. God, that must feel like just think about how that feels, man. They don't care. And then, they roll the bus over him, hit reverse, and roll over him again. And then he loses his Star Trek podcast. And that guy loves Star Trek. He lives to talk about Star Trek. I hope he starts his own and does his own thing. And I'll help him freaking start it in any way I can. That was disgusting to me. That was absolutely Christian Harloff. Listen, I know Robert Meyer Burnett is on good terms with all of them, but I think it's disgusting. The Kelvington for $10. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. You too. This is you guys. This is you guys. The chats, the comments, and listen, some of you do some great work on Twitter. That's what I still will poke in and watch. I don't know if I'll participate, but I see you. Check out today's New York Post cover. It's How I Feel. Father Christopher Miller. Yeah, okay. I don't know if it's changed since you've seen it. It's taking its sweet time. Motorist wrong turn into enraged man's driveway nearly kills him. Is that it? Oh, shit. Hang on. I don't know if YouTube's going to like this or not. What was that? Hang on. Yeah, there he is. Is that it? Watch what driveway you turn into, folks. Be very careful. People are a little bit on edge today. Okay? Little bit on edge. Austin Books is 5002 North Lamar, Austin, Texas, 78751. Paisley, I will shout out their phone number too. Okay? Thank you. You didn't have to. Oh, I'm sorry you had to put in another super chat. I will make sure to show their website and everything. I know they're in hippie ass Austin, but that's cool. That's fine. So Father Christopher Miller, I think I forgive you. I forgive you. I'm just kidding. Hail, Father Christopher Miller. I love that Father Christopher Miller knows the rabbi Zvi Levetkin, and they talk, and that's the beauty of the Fandom Menace. And I love that the Father Christopher Miller is here with all of us heathens. And he is like such a nerd too. Such a nerd. The nerd father. Friday Night Tights was awesome. Don't think Jeremy got it, says Mick Wynn for £2. Listen, here's my theory on this. I freaking, there's going to be no but, by the way. I love Jeremy. Unconditionally. Jeremy's a fighter, man. Jeremy's not going to give up. Jeremy is not going to give up. He's one of the guys who's just going to go down swinging. That's it. I think he was fundamentally wrong on some stuff, but he ain't going to give up. And that's, like that kind of gumption is why he's got a channel. You got to have a certain amount of sack, and you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. And he does. I was surprised it went on and on Twitter. And, Doomcock, I don't think he had seen anybody's, I talked to Doomcock about it. He said he just saw Ichibaka's article and did a video on it and just gave his feelings. My feelings on the Filoniing. So the argument is the argument. I believe that and this is just what the Phantom Menace means to me. This is not the definitive version of it because it's just a hashtag. And I believe it is partially customer service. It's how you treat the fans. It's about respecting the fans. And what we said on Friday Night Tights, I said it over and over again, basic human respect. That's all. You don't have to like us. You don't have to kiss our ass. You don't even have to lie, but you don't have to say F off, you Yahtzee. It's very easy. You are a professional in Hollywood making millions of dollars directing a film. What do you care what a few fans say on Twitter? And if you acknowledge it, just go, I'm sorry you feel that way. I did the best I could. And hopefully, tell you what, I'll do my best next time. And hopefully you check out my next movie. How is anybody going to respond negatively to that? And if they do, then they're just, then they are a dick. If you come back with that kind of respect, it generally diffuses everything. And you let that person have their say, and then they feel heard. And that's what this is all about. Most arguments are about being heard. And this is what I learned in marriage counseling. Mrs. Nerdrotic and I can sit there and talk to each other until we're blue in the face. But if we're just talking at each other and we're not really hearing what they say, and then not just hearing it, acknowledging that I heard it. So my wife feels heard. So she knows that I considered what she said, and I gave it some real thought, and I just didn't blow it off and throw out my defenses. That's what this whole thing is about. Rian Johnson has thin skin, has real thin skin. He's a petty dude. It's obvious. He's made it very public. Most directors in Hollywood are not. Most of them just say whatever. Paul Feig is another one. Ghostbusters 2016 was a crappy movie. Ghostbusters 2016 was the true beginnings of all this as far as films are concerned. I mean, there's a lot of other factors, but Ghostbusters 2016 started it for a lot of people. And was it just a bad movie, or was it Paul Feig's treatment of fans and his statements publicly? What made things worse? If it was just a shitty movie and Paul Feig went, I tried, and walked away, there might have been a couple videos and that's it. But what carried it on to this very day, the dude won't shut up about it. And he's always coming up with new people to blame. I think it was the Orange Man and some ism. Instead of just admitting that, and we're not about giving fans what they want. Well, then you're stupid. Then Sony's was a dumb organization. They gave up a lot of money. You put the living Ghostbusters back into it on what adventure? You just make it basic and you just print money. It's not that hard. But what makes it hard for Hollywood is their fracking egos. They just can't stop. If I was an actor or a creative and I was making a pretty good living in Hollywood right now, oh man, Twitter would be nuked immediately. All social media would be nuked. I think there's something, I hope we return to the day where the artist, the true artist, wants to be somewhat of a mystery, an enigma. Remember when artists used to want to be an enigma? Remember the enigma? Friday Night Tights was awesome. I did let it go because that's my style of live streaming, by the way. I let people talk. I let them finish. I let them hash it out. And because if you don't let it, because then it did eventually stop. And if we would have stopped it too soon, it wouldn't have stopped. Trek should just go fully BSG and reboot. No link to the past, aside from the names, start from Archer's era and fully explore a rebooted galaxy. Matthew Gerwig for $5 Canadian. That's the only option they have left. And that's what they still can, by the way. If CBS says we are an alternate universe, if at the end of Star Trek Discovery Season 3, we find out that they've always been in the Kelvin timeline, honestly, I stop having a problem with it. It sucks. I'm not going to endorse it or anything. But if it takes it completely out of canon and makes it its own timeline, good. Awesome. We cool. I can walk away. But they're not going to do that. They are deliberately going into canon with Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who to undo it because the past is problematic. The thing they paid so much money for, the thing Disney paid money for to get the boys back, the thing CBS finally got full control of, after, however long. And I don't know if they have full control of it yet, to be honest with you. And Doctor Who had forever wanted to make it big in America without compromising and still being British. What did they do? They effed it up because they all of a sudden got embarrassed by their very white, problematic past, completely forgetting who started the show, what the show has always been about. Star Trek and Doctor Who primarily have always been about inclusivity and diversity. Always. In a very genuine way until recently. I think that will happen. We're going to get a remake of the original trilogy too. That is inevitable. I think the next thing you do with Doctor Who is after you cancel this, they're going to try to go with movies. That'll be my guess, is they do a movie. Scottish Nerd for $2, 250,000 subs coming, but is it 250,000 cups of coffee? Well, I finished 250,000 cups of coffee years ago, probably. I drink 3 cups of coffee a day, black. And I can go to Pete's now, but not my regular Pete's. They have been closed for 4 months. I miss my kids over at Pete's. I know some of them watch once in a while, so if you're out there, what's up? How to say my name is Alluvian America. Okay, Alluvian America. Thank you, Alluvian America, for $2. I appreciate that. Loquacious Primate for $5. What is up, my friend? Hail, Gary. The interview you linked on Friday Night Tights with the former SJW knitting chicks was excellent, and I highly recommend it to everyone. Yes, I'll link that again today. So SJWs have invaded the knitting community, folks. Yep. So there's 2 women who were brilliant, did a live stream. I will link the description by the end of the video or end of this live stream so you guys can take a look at it. And basically there's a woman in there who says, I used to be an SJW for 20 years. I got out of it. And she just explains it perfectly. She explains it perfectly. I want to get her on the show. I want to get her on the show. I want to interview her. She was brilliant. They both were brilliant. And guess what? Part of the alphabet community too. Oh, and guess what? We have people from the alphabet community in here right now as we speak. Perry's Friday Night Tights intro is legendary, says Kip Ellis for £2. It is. Perry is legendary. Absolute legendary. He is the 6th He's the sixth Titer, Friday Night Titer. and listen, I got to shout it out again. Just Some Guy and Quarter Black Garrett were brilliant as well. They came in last minute, short notice. They came in and filled in. Tom did a great job. Everybody, listen, I gave Odin a hard time. I love Odin. Odin brings it every time. He's funny. He is the reason we're doing this show right now. Jeremy backed it up, but it was Odin who reached out to me and said, we need to do something with this. So love Odin. Hail, Gary, when do you think Hollywood will stop cancel culture? When they cancel themselves? Does Hollywood have to be completely canceled for studios to take a hint? George Forrest Jr. for $4.99. Hollywood is going to take a giant step back, and I hope they realize that as above, so below. So the comic book industry. The comic book industry is falling apart right now. And, well, it was falling apart because of identity politics. And it was a subject nobody was willing to talk about. That's the reason the Fandom Menace exists. That's the reason YouTube channels have everywhere from 5 subscribers to millions of subscribers, because you can't get real information from the access media, and you're not going to get it from any creative who is currently or who ever worked on a project before, because they're contractually obligated not to say anything if they want to keep getting their cheddar or if they want to get work. So they cannot speak freely, right? So the comic industry was falling apart before. Beerbug comes, broke the habit. It was a habitual thing, and it will never, ever be able to reach what it was 3 months ago. It's lost forever, because you gave people a break, and we've had months to think about it now. And while we've been streaming, we haven't been going to movies, and Hollywood still needs movies. Hollywood still needs big budget movies to survive. And I don't know if that's broken or not. I think it'll make a comeback eventually. I don't know if that will ever get I don't know if we'll have billion-dollar movies again for a while. Who knows? I hope Tenet's the first one. It looks great. I can't wait to see it in a theater. But that habit's been broken too. So Hollywood is going to have to contract a little bit. It just is. And there's going to be a lot of out-of-work actors. I don't know if that's good for society. Shane O'Reilly for $1.49. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. Piano Dean for $5. Hail, Gary. Did you get a chance to hear the song I did for Bird of Prey 5, Bed Life? Would love your opinion. I did, and I loved it. Piano Dean. Applause. I'll link that in the description of the video when this goes over to Nerdrotic Live as well. Hail, Piano Dean. I appreciate you. Sanctuary of Geeks for £5. Hi, Gary. Did you see Howard Stern's apology for going blackface? Embarrassing. Opie and Anthony were better. Opie and Anthony are better. I am a big fan of Anthony Cumia. I subscribe to his Compound Media. Huge fan of Anthony Cumia. Would love to talk to that dude. Yeah, Howard was an inspiration. When I was a parts delivery driver back in the 90s with my flowing blonde long hair down to my ass and wearing my delivery shorts and delivering auto parts to shops and flirting with the girls at the front desk. And I was, back in the 90s, I was listening to Howard every morning and talk radio. And I guess it's what's led to this. And he was a man of the people and he didn't give a crap. And it turns out it was all fake. He was just thirsty. He sold all of his fans out, and look what all that pandering gets you. Nothing. They'll never accept Howard. And I'm surprised he isn't, well, probably because he has a huge stake in the network he's on. I'm surprised he isn't completely canceled. And that shows how hypocritical things are, because if it was somebody who didn't pander as hard as he did, they'd be gone. Canceled Venom for 2 Canadian pesos. Can we invite George Lucas? Kapla. You mean George Lucas, the secret member of the Fandom Menace? George is always welcome. I don't think George Lucas likes us very much. I'm just going to be real. I went to Skywalker Ranch in 2003. think it was 3. They were working on Revenge of the Sith, and I walked in the door there. By the way, I was on a blacklist. So I got there. My friend got me in. I was on a blacklist, and I told my friends just to go in and I'll wait in the car in the parking lot. And we couldn't figure out why I was on. We still to this day don't know why I was on a blacklist. My guess is I had a felon, and they have a very good security system, and they probably figured it out and said, hell no. I can't think of any other reason. So I got in, opened the door, and there's little George Lucas. First thing I noticed is, man, is he short. God, is he short. And then Yacht Boy Rick McCallum. And he just gave us the dirtiest goddamn look. And then my friend told me not to touch anything. And I touched everything I could. I did. I almost set off an alarm. I did. Michael Sterlitz for £2. UK getting nothing. Get nothing. Come here. God, I might have to. I love the UK. I'd live in the UK. I'm an Anglophile. Nicholas Horton for £5. Femluke looks like Mila Jovovich when she was young teenager age. Yeah, it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. One of the best tweet responses ever, I'll show you, is, hang on. This is so goddamn funny. This is funny. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my. Oh my God. I just pulled this up. Hang on. Oh, that's not it. Hang on. Holy shit, this is funny. Hurry up. Oops, wrong one. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh my God. Don't even, I don't want to hear any. As, all right. So, William Shatner saying "I do me" is the best goddamn tweet I have seen in a long fucking time. That is brilliant. It is brilliant. One of the responses here is so fracking funny if I can find it. I can't remember if it was on my tweet or not. I can't find it now. But it was, it said, this is not my most, well, the response was not my most proud fap. I can't find it now. I got to go back to that. I got to go back to Az. Oh, where'd it go? He looks like such a little English shop girl, doesn't he? Doesn't he look kind of like one of Rose's coworkers right there? Oh. Why is Megan Fox trending? Why is what is next for Chuck E. Cheese trending? Oh, F Twitter. F Twitter. Oh, that's disturbing. That is absolutely disturbing. I think they've done a female Jeremy already. Oh, anyone done a male Jeremy yet? I saw what you did there. That's terrible. Oh, if somebody's done a female Jeremy, let me know. Let me know. I'll check back in a second. Just tweet at me. Femluke looks like, and yes, Mila Jovovich. It's kind of disturbing. Hail, Gary. A little bit of support from Central Europe. Well, hail, Czechoslovakia. Thank you for the Czechoslovakian pesos. Ulfagrimmer. I got that right, didn't I? That was close. No, maybe not. What's up, Ian? I see you there. I'll get to you in just a second. Casey Osowski for $10. Gary, you are the best. Congrats on the subs. If you and your wife need any extra, please let me know. Oh, thanks. We're Casey. We're cool. We're doing good. There's I know there's a lot of people out there having a hard time. What I do is I wake up in the morning and I'm grateful that I got a roof over my head and my kid is able to do some school. He's doing school right now. And again, I don't mean to get serious, and we will get to the fun in just a second. One of the things that truly does bother me about California is they've completely forgotten about special education. Now my son has Asperger's, and he's fine. He's always been fine. But what about the kids who really need the help? They've been kind of abandoned right now, which is a pisser. I thought comics were entertainment, not education. Scottish Nerd for £2. That's the scholastic. That is the scholastic influence in comic books. It's not good. It's not good, but they think it's they think it's influencing. They think they're the influence They're going to teach us lessons. Chris Chibnall is going to create a conversation for you and me. Yeah, we've created a lot of conversations like, wow, this sucks. My God, I couldn't believe it could suck this much. But it does. That's a conversation. You're right. And you created it. Thank you, Larry, for the phallic unicorn. I learned how to read because of comics. It's a shame stores are closing down. I have a coffee on me, mate. Thank you, Ian. Check out Rebecca Gold, by the way, on right here on YouTube. My local store, Third Eye Comics, is still alive. Good. Alien Matters for $2.85. And we have, listen, Isotope is still alive here. My old shop is still alive again. I think it gets closed down though. We still have 5 shops here that are opened up. Blue Moon Comics survived. There are comic shops that are going to survive, but with DC leaving Diamond, I don't know if Diamond's going to survive. You moved Fight Club to Friday Night Tights. LOL. Love the new opening. JPRPH1. Thank you very much. And we did. That was a hell of a fight there. Please go check it out. It goes on for an hour and 9 minutes. Thank you for the $1.99. Battle Him 63 for $2. They renamed the Chaz to the Chode. That's good. Yes, it's the Chode. How ridiculous is that? Can Hollywood just fall into the ocean? Emperor Billy Ritchie for $1.99. It might. That is possible. Carries is a new member at the proto-molecule level. Thank you. I appreciate you. And there'll be a member stream today. Route 69, Australian, $2. Is there a limit to woke? No. We've reached our limit. I guess the limit's going to be when we eventually just walk away. And in a lot of cases, you got to treat this as a breakup. And we all, listen, through experience, we learn how to deal with a breakup. I know how to deal with one now. I didn't know how to deal with one when I got dumped when I was 14, and I was devastated, listening to a lot of The Cure at that time. But now, my first marriage, we haven't spoken since that final day, and that's pretty much, this is a bad breakup, and that's why I am done with Star Wars. So I don't get fired up. When I heard Filoni's comments, I just kind of went, I didn't get fired up from it because I don't give a crap anymore. Star Wars can go do what Star Wars is going to do, and it's not going to be very good. I hope it is someday. I don't want to piss on anybody's enjoyment of Star Wars. I don't. But my enjoyment has been thoroughly pissed on. The Gray Ghost. Hail, as a so-called POC myself, I'd give more credit to these woke folk if they collected data on how many people, POC, LGBTQ plus, etc., are in the industry with examples that legit prevent advancing. They don't. And you're right. And thank you for the $10. And the primary problem is they're projecting this crap on us, the fandom. Doesn't it sound like the BBC, Hollywood in general, the gaming industry, comic industry, doesn't it sound like it's our fault that there wasn't inclusivity and diversity in the comics? Doesn't it sound like our fault that there isn't inclusivity and diversity in hiring practices? I mean, I guess we hire people. I guess we write the comics and we write the stories. No, it was the people who have been gatekeeping people forever in that industry. Hollywood's had 100 years to get it right. And frankly, I think they've done a good job. I haven't seen, believe me, Gray Ghost, believe me, nobody in Hollywood is getting rejected because they're alphabet. Was there a time that happened? Absolutely. Then it turned into a time they had to hide it. But they've always been there from the beginning. Are they getting rejected now? No. Hell no. And listen, that's why that's why Dave Filoni created the Star Man, because he wanted to look like a hero and in front of a bunch of women. And the dude has zero game. He has no game. So he didn't pull it off. Like I said, these people think they're influencers. You have to be genuine to be an influencer. You are an actor. You are a meat puppet. You are an adult pretender. You read somebody else's lines good and sometimes better than others. And some of you just downright suck at it. Hollywood's about the writers. Always is about the writers and the directors. 52 movies a year. Just donating to your Move to Utah fund. It's one of the states. Texas is the top state though, but it is one of the states. 52 movies a year. Thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate it. Jason Cannon for $5. Glad you used the female Kirk pick I tweeted you last night. And thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate that. I got a good laugh out of it. And the part of the thumbnail of the vid, LOL. And part of the thumbnail for the vid. You go, Gary. I will. Hail, Gary. Love Exozone. Skinwalker Ranch is odd. 14 Barber. We've done 2 episodes on it. We will do a third. Skinwalker Ranch, if anything, if it's just a legend and a bunch of made up bullshit, is honestly one of the best, weirdest stories I've ever heard. Thank you for the £2. Black Tiger 001 for $2 Canadian. That's how I used to describe Picard before STP. Yes. And real quick, Skinwalker Ranch is this bizarre place in Utah where bizarre things happen. Anything from, well, they got skinwalkers, anything from UFOs to ghosts, to interdimensional travel, to dire wolves. That's right, dire wolves that are walking. Okay, there's zombie dire wolves, smoking dogs, the weirdest stories you've ever heard. The only theory, if this stuff is real, the only theory I have is that there's a rupture in space-time or something. It's a bizarre story. And if you're a writer, you can probably get a lot of good ideas from it. Will the last word on the Jim Garrison tapes by John Barber, the best Jim Garrison documentary, be on the Exozone this week? Vince Hickey, it's going to be on the next one for sure. Thank you, Vince, again, for Australian $7.99. Paisley Gemini for $1.99. Austin Books, 5002 North Lamar, Austin, Texas, 78751. Here, let's get their website up there. There they are. There they are. Oh, what? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Flash update. Freaking flash update. I haven't seen one of those in we'll go to the other one. Sorry about that break in the action there, folks. My bad. I do want to give them a proper shout out. So there we go. So there they are. Austin Books and Comics that you can shop online. Welcome to the definition of what I lost that. It just went on me. Look at all those sweet, sweet comic books. Birthright. This is the one life-size character I couldn't get. They got a life-size Hulk in there. So go check them out. They're open. Hi. All right. David Humphrey for $5.49. Hello, I have started to rewatch all Tom Baker Doctor Who seasons during this lockdown so I can see good Doctor Who again after the current Chibnall mess. Yes, you need a palate cleanser. You definitely need a palate cleanser. And that's a good thing to do. Once I've been trying to peek at an episode once in a while, but I've been doing modern stuff in between my Blake 7 viewing. Maze the Bouncer for $5. I buy my bags and boards at Nirvana Comics here in Knoxville. They are a great shop. Brilliant. Shout out to Conquest Comics in Bayville, New Jersey. Are they open, David Kenny, for $1.99? See, that's the thing is comic shops inspire this loyalty that no other store has. No other industry has. Record stores didn't have this kind of loyalty. And that's going to be missed. Watch Why the Past Matters by Doctor Who by Syndic. Did I say Doctor Who? Shit. Watch Why the Past Matters by The Critical Drinker for $2 from Syndic. I will. I think I have. Snark Boojum for 149 rubles. So Captain Kirk is no more. It's Captain Kink now? Yes. So there was a rumor that Captain Kirk is possibly going to be bisexual in Strange New Worlds. Now, this comes from We Got This Covered, so it's bullshit. But would Kurtzman do something like this? Absolutely. Absolutely. And would they ruin a character in 5 minutes that it took 50 plus years to get to the heights it has? Yes, they would. But that's only if we see Strange New Worlds. Nothing is set in stone right now. Things are... I pretty much think every show would have come back after the beer bug. I do believe the little Dr. Fauci said that he changes his mind every day, but didn't he say that there's a possibility that we won't have a big comeback now? And at this point, I don't think it matters. I think we have to go to work anyway, but that's just me. I think the shows were going to come back. But I think a lot of stuff's going to get pared down because of the events of the last couple of weeks. I think that changes everything. So we'll see. Force majeure is out there. Robert is better off without the superficial quote unquote friends. He is just frustrated after seeing murder on social media of a black police officer, for God's sake. Exactly. This is spin-off channel Gary PJ at Orville. Oh, what's up, PJ? It's Nerd TV for $10. Hey, what's up, PJ at Orville Nation? We love you. And we'll get Robert back on. As a matter of fact, I want to do a one-on-one with Robert, like very, very soon. I love that guy, man. He's great. He did not deserve that. That one got to me, man. That one, I admit, like I see people get canceled. I get upset. But in a weird way, I took that one real personal. Probably because he's been so nice to us. And we don't get that a lot, you know? And not that I need it from a lot of people. I really don't. I'm fine with just us here. But it was nice. It doesn't make it any less nice to see when somebody you don't agree with on a lot of stuff. And you know what? Cameron Paja did that with Jeremy too. And it's nice to see stuff like that. See people reaching out. And because it is about unity. And I know it's probably a cheesy thing to talk about right now, but we need it now more than ever. And that's what Robert was all about. SJW PR directive destroys all alpha male role models. Yeah, gone. By the way, I don't know if you guys watch Emergency Awesome. Thank you, by the way, States Manual for $2. I'm a fan of Charlie. I've been, he's pretty milquetoast, but he's good. I like what he does. And he did a video yesterday on Superman. So Warner Brothers is still whinging about being able to do a standalone Superman movie. So, and it's purely because it's a straight white male. They're going to give you all these bullshit freaking reasons, but it's a straight white alpha male lead, and they don't want to cast it. And he said something in that video that I found very, very disturbing. Everybody wants Henry Cavill to be Superman. Everybody, except for Jar Jar Abrams. Jar Jar Abrams doesn't want Henry Cavill as Superman. So we need to show our support for Henry Cavill. We need to show Warner Brothers that this dude is Superman, because we know what JJ's going to do. We know what, at the very least, we're going to get a little wafy Superman like we are with Batman right now. And I'm sorry, Robert Pattinson has to prove me wrong. And if I'm proved wrong, I will absolutely freely admit it. Say I was wrong. He's a great Batman. I just don't, I see him as Batboy. I see him as a good Dick Grayson. Sure. But not a man. In the corporate world, bad customer service will get you dropped as a vendor in a second. Shouldn't be different for individuals. Best time is now for $9.99. No, it isn't. So my whole philosophy on customer service comes from the comic shop. And this is how I talk to people in the comic shop. And, I won Best of the Bay in 2009. I did. Very proud of that. And that's because people voted for it. And that was great. I still have my little certificate. Alien Matters for $2.85. Right. Kelvin Trek can be seen and dismissed easy. Absolutely. If they changed the Star Trek timeline, Discovery, Picard, and Strange New Worlds into the Kelvin timeline, I cease to have a beef with it. I absolutely stop immediately. I was hoping they would have done that. That would have, you know what? And I think they would have gotten fans from it. Now, I think it's trash. I think it's absolute trash that I will never watch. But I think some people would look at it differently. It would just be a positive. The only reason they did it was for merchandising, and they can't even get that. So, I mean, they could save it by, well, at least save old Star Trek. Cesar Sosa for $4.99. We need to destroy all social media to save society and pop culture. Not entirely against that, except for YouTube. When I wake up in the morning now, the very first thing I do is I pop on YouTube. I see if anybody's streaming. I watch somebody's video. Watching a scripted TV show is something I have to deliberately think about. It used to be something I did unconsciously, flick on the TV, make a cup of coffee. Now it is phone or my desktop. I'm mostly a desktop guy. I watch my YouTube, drink my coffee. You guys are far more entertaining than anything Hollywood could ever hope to deliver at this point. It's not even close, folks. So we get the occasionally good scripted drama. It's over in a few hours, but I'm guaranteed to get live streams today, multiple live streams today and every day. Joan of Arc 33 for $9.99. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture has been painted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. 1984. They still make kids read it in school, but I'm not sure. I think they're on the other side of it now. And the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present, in which the party is always right. George Orwell. Again, I'm going to repeat that. And the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party, the single party, is always right. It's happening, folks. It's happening. And it's up to us. And I think what we can do is we provide the power that they have with our wallets and with our interest, just with our interest. And really, I am all about unity. I am all about talking to people, but I think there's a certain point where we have to just shut it down. Shut it down. Walk away. Shut it down. And with a lot of things, I'm pretty fracking close. And maybe it's too late. Maybe I should have done it sooner. I don't know. We love entertainment. We want to keep giving Hollywood money. It's not like we don't want to participate, but they don't want us. And I mean, yes, they think we're all. I can tell you with absolute certainty that there is no such thing as an alt-right Star Trek fan. And I'm talking about their definition of it, which is a Yahtzee. There's no such thing as a alt-right Doctor Who fan or Star Trek fan. They don't watch entertainment. They think it's all trash, every second of it. Even the good stuff that we like, they think it's trash. The 1,000 of them that are out there, they're not fans. But for the last 2 years, let's not forget, there's an Access Media, I believe it was it Forbes? I can't remember who it was. Matt Miller and others, and CNET tried to seriously run with the narrative that we YouTubers have been influenced by Russian agents to create division in America through Star Wars. Through Star Wars. That we were the provocateurs creating division in America. And now we're seeing the actual division. And it wasn't Russians, was it? But people still run with this narrative. They think it's real. And they kicked Alex Jones off this platform. And that's crazier than anything he said, or as crazy. Just rewatched Equilibrium. Very relevant today. Yes. Thank you, Matt Guy, for £2. Equilibrium, Demolition Man, V for Vendetta. Watch all these films. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Route 69 for Australian $5. BLM is a set of Communist Party demands, which has nothing to do with the Black Lives Matter or Mr. Floyd. No, that he's in the rearview mirror now. Modalicious for $2 says, let's abolish the police and see what happens. No, because I have a kid and I worry about my kid every day and I want my kid to be safe. You know what? J.J. Abrams, I want my kid to be comfortable. And if my kid is comfortable, and if Modalicious is comfortable, and SJ Almighty, and Alien Matters, and Tony BP, if we're all comfortable, then we can buy luxury items. Because you, Hollywood, are not influential. You're a luxury. And you're one I don't think we could afford anymore. What's up, heel versus babyface? You look so cute. I love you so much. Yeah, so let's not... I know what you... listen, there would be a time when I was like a little 16-year-old punk rocker where I'm like, yeah, okay, let's abolish the police and see what happens. And watch this, and watch everything just effing burn. But no, that's why I don't want the button pushed either. I want my kid to be safe. And I'm not going to be anywhere. Listen, our decision was made. I was in San Diego, and our police chief here in San Francisco said he was open to the idea of defunding the police department and replacing it with what? So the fact that they're open to the idea, Mrs. Nerdrotic and I said, we're out. We're done. I'm not even going to be in a place where they consider that. Do we need change? Yes, of course we do. We always need change. And you know where it starts? Unions. Get rid of the police union who protects bad cops. And while you're at it, get rid of the teachers union that protects predator bad teachers too. Shatner for the win. Modalicious, absolutely. Absolutely. We need to revisit that. Hang on. We need to revisit that. Since Az is here. Oh, I love you so much. Oh. Got a pretty mouth, ass. Mm-hmm. And in case you were wondering, William Shatner won for the greatest tweet of 2020, maybe of all time. I do me. We'll let that sit there for a second. Loquacious Primate. I bet Terry from Unsafe Space would totally do Friday Night Tights. Her streams average 250, so she would love the exposure. The other one, Carolyn, probably would as well. Well, I think we should talk to him. I think we absolutely should talk to him. I'll reach out to him. They seemed cool. Gary, deleted my Twitter and deactivated Facebook. Trevor RN, well done. Well done. Good for you. You are free. I barely go on Twitter, so Twitter was it was a hot mess. I don't think it's as bad like today as it was a few days ago, but it's still bad. Gary, correction, it's indoctrination. Fight it. Mech1164 for $2. Yes, I don't know if I said something different, but it's absolutely indoctrination. But I can't fight the state. All right. We're talking about the state here. The state is the establishment. Believe it or not, the orange man isn't the establishment. The state is. Our governors are. A certain party is, because they're in lockstep with the mainstream media. Listen, Disney is woke. The reason it's woke is because it's brand identification. They own ABC. Look at ABC does. It's just being consistent with their brand. I don't know how anybody can be a Disney fan if you are even a centrist at this point. I don't know how you can be a Disney fan. I mean, we don't hear this shit from Universal. We just don't. Maybe I missed it. But I'll never pay a penny to go to Disney ever again. And as far as their Marvel stuff, I don't know. Mike W. Rogers for $2. Your room looks like Granddad's workshop. It's supposed to have kind of it's not supposed to be too pretty. I'm sure I pulled that off too. I don't want everything all neat and perfect. It's just not me. Thank you, Mike W. Rogers, and welcome to the proto-molecule level. Carrick Borg for 200 rubles. Some support from a Russian Trekkie. Hail Russia, by the way. Look, there's Russians in here. And I think Russians like Star Trek too. Isn't that crazy? Remember that Sting song about the Cold War? And he said the lyric was, I hope the Russians love their children too. Well, we all love Star Trek. We all love Doctor Who. It was a uniting force. So who divided us? Shadowy Sage for $4.99. Do you think Hollywood could ever have domestic competition? No, not as yes. Maybe even in our lifetime, but it's a long way off, Shadowy Sage, but I think that's already happening. We are the competition. We're already seeing the access media fall apart because we're crushing them. And I mean, everybody here on YouTube, and I'm including you, we're crushing them. The only reason websites are still around is they're cheap to maintain, but Newsarama's gone. Newsarama disappeared. Kickstarter, which isn't a news, but they're going to have to change their business model. The comic industry is changing its business model. Well, why? Justin White for 5 Canadian pesos. WOTC has legit examples where POCs are told they weren't hiring and their staff is all white. Who's WOTC? I mean, if they have examples, show them, please. And we need to point them out. If they have an all white staff and they refuse to hire LGBTQ folks in the alphabet community or anybody who's black or anything, believe me, I want to know about it. Let's point them out. Let's mock them. Justin White. But who's WOTC? I don't know who WOTC is. Crispy Critters for $5. Hollywood's going to find its influence greatly diminished over the next few years. Indie producers are going to take over. Absolutely. And who knows if, I mean, the producer is going to fundamentally change as well as things will get cheaper. But no, you're going to see a lot of people bypassing Hollywood altogether. I mean, why would you want to go through 5 gatekeepers when you have a better chance of starting something here on YouTube? Look what Ian does with Rebecca Gold. That's all Ian. Lost in Limbo for £10. As a gay sci-fi fan, I'm embarrassed by how Star Trek has been wrecked by SJWs. Yes, I'd have liked to have seen a gay character, but not at the cost of killing everything I loved. Best wishes from Ireland. Hail! Hail, and thank you for being here and being a voice in here. I appreciate you. New characters. And the worst thing about it, Lost in Limbo, is they did introduce a new character, and two-dimensional as hell. That's the problem. They just thought all you need to do is put in a gay character and not make this gay character real or, give them some depth. Make us care. We loved Captain Jack. We love Captain Jack in Doctor Who. So, it's Alex Kurtzman and his shit writing. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Captain Spire for $2. Friday Night Tights really shook the pillars of heaven. It kind of did. It was crazy. And the response has been, listen, I love hearing from you guys. I'm not going to say it's all been positive. But the vast majority of you understood. And again, it's not something we'll make a habit out of. But I'm not going to say it's not going to happen again. It will absolutely happen again. Come to Kansas City. Our barbecue is better. Oh, that is for sure. Edward Maidman for $2. I would love some barbecue right now. I'm kind of hungry. Route 69 for Australian $10. The fact that the BLM doesn't condone behavior that gets black people killed proves that they don't really believe in the BLM. Every black death is a celebration and welcome news to them. Yeah, it's something they can exploit. That's a hardcore way to put it, but it's something they can exploit when every black death is a tragedy and a loss. And there's a mom and dad out there devastated. Right. So, and a lot of times it's kids, it's freaking kids. And we keep losing a generation and it sucks. There's nothing good about it at all. But when it gets I hate exploitation. Okay. And it's the punk rocker in me. I freaking hate exploitation. And Hollywood, of course, does it. And sometimes I guess it's fine when it's historical, but when I see it and when I see Damon Lindelof exploit one of the most tragic events in our history, one of the most disgusting events in our history to get a few pats on the butt from Hollywood and get a few awards, just like when Chris Chibnall did it with Rosa, it's disgusting. I meant condemn, not condone. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Route 69. I gotcha. But in a way, they are very, listen, people were ecstatic. Look, I'm talking about the mainstream media. Look at them when anytime there's some tragedy. Look at how excited they look. Oh, they get the adrenaline. Godfather Comics. Oh, what's up, Godfather Comics? For 100 Argentinian dollars. Hi, Gary. Speaking of comics, if and when the SJWs get away from the comic industry, what do you think would be the first signs of that happening? Are we in for some years of this? Right? Thanks. Well, I thought it was going away. Marvel recently announced like a straight up Iron Man comic book, and they did that with Spider-Man too. It's like back to basics. We're going to do a Peter Parker Spider-Man and a Tony Stark Iron Man, and we're just going to make superhero books for everyone. And it looked like that's the direction they were going in. And I think that all changes. So I think it just got extended a couple of years. People are sick to death of it. But we're in such a paradigm shift in entertainment. I don't know. I mean, this is unknown territory for me. I'm pretty decent at, and so are a lot of you, at predicting trends because they're secular. But this changes everything. So I don't know. Or did the events of the last 2 weeks just, I don't know, piss you off even more, galvanize you in your beliefs? I think that's something to be said. I think there's a silent majority out there that will make themselves known this November. Any thoughts on Robert Burke controversy? I am not aware of it. Let me check. Constantine L. Fitherdis for, it's ringing a bell, but let me double check. Thank you for the $1.99. Did he get canceled? I mean, I'm unaware. I'm Googling it and I don't see anything, but is it a Twitter thing? Yeah, I'm not aware of it. Sorry. Just throw in the details in chat. You don't have to give another super chat. Just hit @Nerdrotic and let me know. So WOTC is Wizards of the Coast. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know much about Wizards of the Coast, but I was talking about Hollywood. Maybe Wizards of the Coast used to be like that. Who knows? Well, you know what? There were some wizards on the coast that used to be all white. Yeah, you probably know what I'm talking about from Fallbrook. Yes, I did hear about ESPN. I'll get to that in just a second. Last year, the oldest comic book store in the world was almost going bust. They started a GoFundMe, and within 5 days, they hit $85,000. It has been the same spot since 1971 in Copenhagen. That's awesome. Jens Jurgensen for 150 Danish krona. That is good to hear. The fans came and helped. But they should have never been in that position. Oh, and I blame the industry, not the shop. Matthew Trump for $14.99. Gone with the Wind is a masterpiece for many reasons. Its worst sin is not the portrayal of slaves, but the one of the great noble alpha males. Its worst sin is not its portrayal of slaves, but one of the great noble alpha males of film history, Ashley Wilkes. Rhett Butler was a beta. Well, I don't have a problem with there being a disclaimer in front of it. I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of the movie, but I would agree with you there. Sebastian Annan for $20. The digital book burning disgusts me, Gary. I only know one other infamous organization who did that to material that offended their sensibilities and beliefs, and I think you can guess who that was. The Yahtzees, absolutely. A lot of parallels. You know, John Malin said that a long time ago, and that's why he's not at Marvel anymore, but he was right. We judge ourselves by our intentions and others by their actions. Thassio for $4.99. Oh, well said there, Thassio. Cavill could even write Superman himself. Revenge of the Netherlim. Netherlim. For $2. Yes, he could. He's a nerd. He's an absolute nerd. He's into Warhammer 40K. He plays video games. Hell yeah. Jane Theory. What's up, Jane Theory? Thank you for the super sticker with the mic drop. I was listening to a little bit. You were on that, weren't you, Jane? Were you on the Wins a Winner Sporking News live stream yesterday? I was listening to some of that. I wasn't, I was lurking. Motorlicious for $2. By the way, check out Jane Theory's channel. She's an up and coming channel. She does a great job. I don't know if any mods are here. I didn't even, Eric, could you put in Jane Theory's channel, please, in the chat? I would appreciate that. If you have a chance. I dropped a vid, let's abolish police. Yes, clickbait. Oh, I saw it, Motorlicious, for $2. I saw it. I subscribed to your channel. And yes, it's great clickbait. See, you're getting it, man. You get it. Free Kodak Black for $10. Yo, Mr. Gary, heard Spielberg's daughter is doing porn now. Yes. Jar Jar for those keeping track, has now failed at Star Trek, Star Wars, Lost, and now babysitting. Oh my God. I didn't even put that together. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Oh, free Kodak Black. You have my respect. JJ babysitted that woman, and she's in porn. Put two and two together. Ron W. Gary, did you see that ESPN lost slot of viewers since this stuff heated up? Even lost to Jay Leno's Garage last week. They lost to a cartoon. Tim Pool did a video. They lost 41% of their audience the minute they started going woke. That should tell you everything. I don't want to hear what First Take has to say about politics. I don't want to hear a bunch of dumb jocks talk about politics unless they're Uche. Uche is the only jock that I'll listen to because he's not dumb. I get wanting to abolish the unions, but I'm talking about the police union specifically. I'm talking about unions for federal and state workers where we, the taxpayer, have nobody negotiating for us. They also protect the cops from vengeful chief or city councils. Same with the teachers' unions. The unions are in a lose-lose situation. Well, I guess I'm an idealist. I wouldn't want, if we got somebody in there we got way too many petty people in politics. And the way we fix that, Bald Eagle 1787, the way we fix that is, and I'll start with I statements. I start paying attention to every single person who I elect into office who has direct control over me. And I think if we start really hyper-focusing on local elections, because I think, dude, we had a city council member get in with 5,000 votes in a city of almost 1 million people. And that's on me. And I got to get the hell out of Dodge. I don't want to be in a place where I'm in a situation like this anymore. I don't want politicians having direct power over my life. Ever, 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 ever. I will live in the woods by myself, with my family, before I let that happen. Right now we're locked down. There's no reason for us to be locked down at all. Go look at our numbers. Go look at everything in San Francisco. This is just so London Breed could look good. And it's affecting my kid, okay? It's affecting my kid and my wife, who owns her own business, worked her ass off. This was her dream. It was doing great. It was extremely successful. And the city put the kibosh on it. And now we are now within the realm of possibility of having to shut it down at a total loss, at a total fracking loss. A very successful salon 4 months later is a total loss. And it's not because it's because she can't reopen. And she can't reopen at full capacity. And it's going to be months. And now there's rumors of all kinds of crazy shit. It's like, no, we're going to go somewhere where we can open. She's going to have to, start over. She has options. She has lots of options. She has lots of very influential clients. I don't want to brag or anything. She's got some very influential clients, some very influential people that can help her out and stuff. But she's not the kind of person who wants help. She wants to do it on her own. And that's all I want. I don't want government money. I don't want government help. I want just to be free to make my own decisions as an adult. Just found my ex-SJW email useful for Luke always. Oh, just found you. Oh, by the way, just found you. My ex-SJW email useful for Luke always. J1701D. Thank you for £2. I'm glad you just found me. I just found you. Thank you, Bald Eagle 1707. I mean, those are good points, man. And Ron W., thank you very much. J1701D, thank you very much. Maybe I've been in isolation too long, but that picture of female Kirk is looking good. LOL. Big fat nerd for £5. It does look kind of good. It does. Culture Casino. But go look at the picture of Az. That's, Az, I love you so much. Thank you for the phallic unicorn, Culture Casino for $1.49. Justin White for 2 Canadian pesos. Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering. Thank you, sir. Doc, 2 nerd points from Nerdrotic. Paisley Gemini for $4.99. His mind is not for rent to any god or any government. Always hopeful yet discontent. He knows changes aren't permanent, but change is. Ah, yes. Changes. When are we? What are we laughing at? I mean, when are we laughing at? I mean, reviewing Aqualad. Well, we got some good news today, folks. We got some very good news. Let's go over to Comixology. And I am going to my books. There it is. Oh, it's there. Oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy. It's here, folks. You brought me the ocean. It's a story about an aqua lad who isn't really aqua lad, who's got a boyfriend in New Mexico, and it's about a superpower, or it's about a superhero with water-based powers in the landlocked state of New Mexico. It's a love story. It is. With some of the most stunning art you've ever seen. Just amazing, isn't it? Stunning, brave, stunning. Yeah. I've been putting off reading it today, but we're going to review it on Yellow Flash's channel, and I may or may not do a video. God, look at the lettering in that. Jesus Christ, it's bad. Oh. Fuck. God damn it. Ay, ay, ay. Gary, thanks for your show. Sent you an email. Thank you, Destiny Captain. I appreciate you. I got to keep a track on the time here. Ooh, I got to get that video out. Sir Pete, New York for $9.99. Have you heard about the conservative billionaire who supposedly bought a major stake in Twitter? Yes, and wants to oust Jack Dorsey. That was news back in March. I hope that's reality. But I don't know if Jack Dorsey's the one really in power. I'm not entirely sure. The lens of scrutiny will all, by the way, thank you, Destiny Captain. Thank you, Supreme New York for $9.99. Brendan Lucas, the lens of scrutiny will always fall on heroes who use violence to solve their problems. This is why the Doctor is so appealing. A hero who uses his intelligence to defeat evil makes his fall so sad. He beat the frackin' devil and it didn't have to lift a finger, you know? Yeah, he smashed some jars. So what? Brendan Lucas, yeah, I love that. God, I love that episode. I want to watch it today. Hail, Gary. Mainstream media today is Eagles' dirty laundry. Yes, it is. Sticking one down. Hail, Gary, I was like trying to remember the lyrics to that, and I brain farted. Hail, Gary, I have a document written by a POC who tried to write for Wizards of the Coast. If you want, I can send it to you. It says Mel Jeff for $5. Yeah, if anybody, any organization ever, you hear about it, who keeps people from doing that, I want to know about it. And I'm sure other YouTubers want to know about it. Because, yeah, that kind of crap has to stop. But I seriously doubt. There are probably some very elite private organizations that do block people. I'm not going to say it's just black people, though. that we don't know about. But I think in the grand scheme of things, most, and I mean most of Hollywood, you're not going to have a problem getting a job anywhere as a member of the alphabet community. You're just not. It's probably going to be easier for you to get a job than for a white male to get a job right now. And is there anything more privileged than the pretty girl? No. Captain Spire for $2. Good product, bad customer service. Axonar, behold. Yep. Alec Peters has gone after me. I don't know why. He's talked a lot of trash about me in particular, just because I didn't want to take part in some drama. He went after Mecha Random for something, and I think it was over the Vic Mignogna stuff, which I have not participated in. I still believe I need to see evidence. But I guess he had a problem with that, or he had a problem with me not shouting out a show. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't care. I liked Axonar. I did. And it was disappointing, but you know what? I moved on. Paranoid. How do I pronounce? Okay. Paranoid. Oh, Jesus, this is hard. Paranoirodio. For $10. It's like Paranoid and Rodeo. First time, long time. Maybe check out Prescott, Arizona. Oh, Arizona's on our list. And Prescott's on our list because we have family there. In your new home search, good local health care for an old man like you. I know, right? You ever read all of Asimov's old Foundation series? No, I have not. Some, but not all. Justin White, thank you again. And yes, Prescott is that's a possibility. Magic the Gathering hires tons of artists for all the cards. They only ever hired one black artist ever. Well, they need to hire more. Kali Hines for $5. But again, I was talking about Hollywood, not collectibles. Not collectibles. Yeah, that sounds like a Wizard of the Coast problem. Kaylee, but I've never been into Magic, and I didn't even sell the cards at my shop because I didn't know anything about it. Callie Hines for $5. Gary, on a lighter note, what are your thoughts on Five Finger Death Punch, one of the best metal bands, in my opinion? I don't know much. They're freaking newer for my old ass, but I'll check them out. I was listening to some of Young Ripa's music, which is fucking awesome, by the way. You got to check out his band. But I'll check that out too. I'll let you know, Khalil. Constantine L. Oh my God. L. Featherides for $1.99. I DM'd Ichibaka's retweet of it to your tweet. Thank you. I will check it out in a moment. Louis the Plank for $5. Hail, Gary. I would love to see Cavill Superman fight Brainiac as the main villain in a movie. Yep. Just basic, back to basics Superman. Inspirational story. It's what the world needs right now. We don't need anything that's divisive. Just make a Superman movie. And guess what? You don't have to feel guilty that you cast a white male in it. Okay, you can still cast white males, and you can go create new characters and get as inclusive as you can or you want. But actually put time and effort into it. Don't do this half-ass shit. And I've already done a video a long time ago that featured Uche saying, and Young Ripa saying, we don't want your sloppy seconds. And they don't. Your wife, and that I'm using their words. Your wife is clearly an amazing woman, and I know she still will bring her success with her wherever she goes. Much love to you both. Thank you, Shant and Jetty. I appreciate you. And yes, I agree with you too. Night Mask for $1.99. Kirk will do himself, but Sulu probably wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think, no, most definitely not. Oh my. Bear Nerd Fun for $2. Enjoying a cup of Pete's at the moment. Oh, I got to do that. I have to make a thumbnail first. My video is uploaded right now as we speak. Just wanted to pop in and say hi, show the love and support. Keep up the good work. Damn, Orville. Thank you, the Orville family. I like that. The Orville family for $50. Awesome. Well done. Holy shit. Crispy Critters for $2. Who made that book? Mrs. Collins' fourth grade class? No, I wouldn't disrespect Mrs. Collins' fourth grade class. Steven Steele for $2. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Stone Dog 1971 for $5. Hail Gary, when this woke crap is done, Star Trek's next movie should be titled The Wrath of Shatner. Yes. Only Nimoy is Spock. Only Shatner is Kirk. Period. Much love, Gary. Thank you for everything. Drunk 3PO, thank you, Drunk 3PO. And yeah, dude, you got to come out to Vegas this December. J17, and by the way, subscribe to Drunk 3PO's channel. That is a good man right there. We love Drunk 3PO. LOL, no last message limited by words. I sent you the XSJW carry unsafe space email a few days ago. I take it you found it yourself. Longtime fan. Thank you. Yes. Okay. God. I got to make that a part of another video. Silver Phantom, thank you for the cupper. Thank you for the super sticker for $4. Okay. I got to ditch. I got to put up a video before it gets too late. It's actually kind of late to put one up now, but what the hell? You guys want to see a video now, don't you? Sure. So it'll be about 15 minutes. I got to make a thumbnail that I like. Everything else is ready. And it will be a Star Wars video. And it will be based on Jeremy's interview yesterday and the Filoning. So please, when you see it, like, share, subscribe as much as you can. I really want to hit that milestone. I'm so close. And then we'll do something fun. And don't forget, December 9th, through 13th, if you can make it to Las Vegas. It's really cheap to book stuff right now. We're going to do a meetup. The meetup itself will cost you nothing. All you have to do is show up. I will feed you and hopefully entertain you. And we will have to see about booze. I will get back to you on booze. I'll try if I can keep it realistic. I am a humble middle-class dude. So, Marcus Aurelius Fortune for $5. Gary, I changed my name to make it easier for you to read. Did it work? Marcus Aurelius Fortune. Yes, Fortune. It did. Thank you. You and your Latin. I mean, I've been kicked out of 3 high schools. Shit. All right. Love you guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We had 3,200 people. You guys are brilliant. Thank you to the Modrotics. Thank you, Eric K, Mikey Woods. Midnight's Edge After Dark, Lori, Wilson, Drunk 3PO, Bird of Prey 5, and who else we got? And that's it for the mods. I haven't seen According to Chris yet. I wonder if it's something I said. Quarter Black Garrett, what's up, man? I'm down. Who else is coming to Vegas? You and me, baby. You and me. I'm sure we'll get Tom at Midnight's Edge and Rob and Mecca, and maybe we'll get Doomcock out there, and I'm sure Jeremy will show up. We'll get the whole gang. We'll get the whole gang there. It'll be fun. Get Ethan to come out. Robert Meyer Burnett. We'll get them all out. All right. Everybody have a great day. Nerdrotic Nooner will be back at noon tomorrow. Remember, not all who wander are lost. Kirk is hot. And, we got something. Vince Hickey. Hi, Gary. I think you missed my $7.99 super chat. Gary will... No, I didn't. That said, Gary, will the last word on Jim Garrison by John Barber, the best Jim Garrison documentary, be in Exozone this week? I did not miss that one. Go back and check. I actually hit it. I'm sorry you had to give another one, though. Hey, Gary, greetings from Redlands, California. Any word on The Lord of the Rings? Dean Walter for $9.99. As far as what? I know that some theater is going to be doing all 3 of the extended versions. And if it's anywhere in California, I will fucking be there. Absolutely be there. But I haven't heard anything. As far as the show, it's still in limbo. The show is in limbo right now. Catastrophe for $2. Last Jedi was better than The Empire Strikes Back. Everybody has an opinion, and that's a good way to keep it. Again, Kirk is hot. As I love you so much. And may the wings of liberty never lose a feather.